Let's cross to Arabile Gumede at the JSE. Arabile, the floor is yours.
Yeah, good afternoon. Well, Nompumelelo, it's an interesting day on the JSE. 1% down is the all share this afternoon. A big drop on that front, but a lot of the miners seeing a lot of hurt. Certainly one that will be of keen interest is Anglo American Platinum. We do chat to Chris Griffiths, the CEO of Anglo Plats, a little bit later on as well here today. But just how everything else is trading across Europe as well and the local market, let's check in on that. Platinum price they're sitting at $830.89 a fine ounce. That's around 0.7% to the good this afternoon as well. Gary Boysons, portfolio manager at Rand Swiss, joining me as we unpack the markets flow. Gary, thank you so much for the time. It's seemingly a downward day today, one and just around 1% down for the JSE. Do you know what's perhaps driving some sense of negativity? It seems like the Rand in itself has gotten weaker as well, so that can't certainly be it.
Yeah, so the Rand hovering about 13.50, so not too much movement there. But I think, you know, on the international front, it's very much the resurgence of these fears around trade wars. And Donald Trump had a very active weekend on Twitter, attacking everyone from his own.
Doesn't he always?
from his own central bank, which is, you know, absolutely astounding, to Iran. And we're seeing the oil prices up a little bit on the back of that, those comments, but really just going a little bit berserk. Yeah. And I think just losing even more credibility, and people, you know, I think markets starting to try and shrug off some of the pessimism that is generating.
Anglo American Platinum themselves are seemingly a really good set of numbers, and compared to the rest of the platinum sector, it seems they're now resurging again. They're coming alive, shall we say?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've seen huge changes at Amplats, and part of it has been, you know, restructuring of the entire portfolio. So they obviously sold off a lot of their assets to Sibanye and various other companies.
Key to note that it was a lot of the mines that weren't mechanized, of course. Right?
Absolutely. So their focus has very much been on low-cost, shallow, open-cost operations that you can easily mechanize. So their flagship really at the moment is Mogalakwena, which we've seen, you know, now potentially in these results an expansion of that project as well. We've also seen now a JV coming from you know, at least the acquisition of it's
Totolo,
yes. Which a 39% stake there, which is interesting, which sees Glencore exiting the platinum sector entirely, but really I think the success of Amplats and the ability to do these deals is based on the strength of their balance sheet. I mean, if we look back to 2014, I mean, they were sitting, you know, just under 15 billion in debt, down to just under 6 billion in debt. So it's a huge restructuring, and you know, just that strength of the balance sheet, I think, allowing them to do deals, allowing them to spend some money, you know, trying to you know, really release those low cost ounces. And I think they're going to put pressure on a lot of the other platinum miners, especially if they expand Mogalakwena, and especially if they manage to bring these low-cost ounces to market.
What do you think of Glencore exiting the platinum sector, though? Just very, very quickly, that seems a very interesting one to me. This was their last little bit in that sector. Now, no more.
Yeah, so they had formerly sold off a minority stake in Lonmin as well, and this is it's a strategy that Ivan Glazenberg, the CEO, has been very, very clear on, that he's no longer interested in platinum. It's not a sector that Glencore is really after, and they're going to very, very much focus on their base metal portfolio. So it's interesting. I mean, obviously Glencore has its own set of problems with the Department of Justice at the moment, but you know, I've always kind of thought of Glencore as the savvy player in the market. I mean, they're the international commodities trader, but Amplats showing what can be done, you know, just with, you know, increasing production, a little bit of a tailwind from the currency as well, and just absolutely solid operational performance.
Well, Anglo Platinum increased production of PGMs by around 4%. So too did Harmony with regards to gold, that going up 4% as well. A third successive year it has met or beaten the expectations for the year. clearly there is some growth in South Africa's mining sector, particularly in gold. Have we been naysayers for far too long?
I don't know. You look at Harmony, a lot of their operations now sitting outside South Africa as well. But if you look at the the actual I suppose production update, again, as you said, not a huge amount of detail, but again, coming in ahead of their own guidance, and that helping to lift the stock on the day. But critically, what you need to look at is the all-in sustaining cost that they're managing to achieve. So they're saying around 520,000 rand per kilogram, which equates, if you do the conversion at today's currency, it equates to just over $1,000 per ounce that they're managing to generate at. So as long as you see firmer gold prices, you're going to get that leveraged upside in the stock price. So you definitely, just with that slight beat, market getting a little bit more optimistic about Harmony and pushing it up. I think it's up to 2.5 at the moment.
Gary, what would you do with 1.6 billion rand? Just attaining that in 1 year. Bob van Dijk is CEO of Naspers. I mean, great. They're a great company, profitable company. A lot of their operations, of course, based on their 10-cent model. But surely 1.6 billion is unjustified.
I might invest directly in Tencent. I don't know. A lot of obviously referring to Bob van Dijk's salary, and a lot of Naspers shareholders very, very upset by just the quantum. And I mean, it is absolutely massive. But if you kind of take a deep breath and take a step back and look at it, in comparison to a lot of other tech CEOs, it's not completely out of line. But at the same time, you've got to question what value is Bob van Dijk generating for Naspers at the moment. And it's not a simple question, because if you look at the way that this money has been generated, the REM structure really has to do with the share options that he has, and the share options price is really driven by the underlying investment in Tencent. Now, how much control does he have over the stake that Naspers has in Tencent? I mean, it can be argued that they do continue to maintain their holding in Tencent, so for that you should earn something, but at the same time, I mean, yes, they sold it for a 2% value earlier in the year, but this is a massive amount of money that the executives are taking out of the company, when essentially most of the value is being driven by a single asset. Now, you can also point to Flipkart. They did a very successful transaction there, but again, how much do you need to remunerate management when the decisions are really be taken at the level of Tencent and instead of Naspers?
Quickly in 30 seconds, Eskom, irregular expenditure of 19 billion over at least 5 or so years. Do you buy that? Is it surely not more? Again, you look at the quantum, and even then, they're saying around 60% of that is not necessarily wasteful expenditure. It's just kind of the way that they're accounting for it. And this is, I suppose, a new broom coming in to try and sweep clean. So, I don't know if perhaps this is even kitchen sinking. Maybe it's overestimated. But again, I mean, huge problems at Eskom at the moment. I mean, obviously, you've got the negotiations with staff at the moment. Eskom has come in saying, that we have obviously these issues, and looking to put through 0% increases. Those are record negotiations that are going on in terms of the labour cost, but at the same time, the overall revenue coming down, and that's when you look at kind of like the cash that Eskom is managing to generate, that's probably the easiest number to, and the cleanest number that you have, and the fact is that it's negative and falling, which is not good. Gary Boyson, Portfolio Manager at Ransworth, joining me as we unpack the market there. Just to continue that Eskom story very quickly, the World Bank coming out with a report saying that Eskom should perhaps retrench 47,000 employees to operate efficiently. That would bring them down to 14,000 employees. At the same time, let's remember Eskom not giving out any bonuses because of their 2.3 billion rand loss as well. How that all unfolds for the remainder of this year and the coming time for that management is certainly going to be of keen question. But that's it from me, Nompumelelo and Nzinga, joining you right after this.